For more than a decade, almost nobody who won the McDonald's Monopoly game was a real winner. Not the people who won the cars, not the people who won the cash, and not a single person who won the big one, the $1 million prize. Here's the crazy part. It wasn't a glitch. It wasn't bad luck. It was one man, and he got away with it for 12 years. If you were around in the 90s, you remember this. Every year, McDonald's would run their Monopoly promotion, and honestly, it was genius. You'd buy your fries, your drink, your Big Mac, and stuck to the side of the box were these little peel-off game pieces. Most of them got you nothing. A free hash brown maybe. But every once in a while you'd peel one off and it'd be a prize, a few bucks, a trip, a brand new car, and then there was the dream. 2 pieces, Park Place, and the rarest piece in the entire game, Boardwalk. Put those 2 together and you won $1 million. People were obsessed. They'd buy food they didn't even want just for another shot at peeling that one golden ticket. It felt like anyone could win. But here's the thing nobody knew. While millions of people were peeling and praying, the game was already over. The winners had already been chosen, and they were all in on it. To understand how, you have to meet the man at the center of all of it. His name was Jerome Jacobson, but everyone called him Uncle Jerry. Now, Jerry wasn't some shadowy criminal. He was a former cop, and he had what sounds like the most boring job in the world. He was the head of security for the company McDonald's hired to run the Monopoly game, and his most important job, he was the one, the only one, trusted to handle the winning game pieces, the big ones, the $1 million pieces, the car pieces. It was Jerry's job to take those rare, valuable winners, seal them up, and personally deliver them to the factories where they'd be randomly stuffed into packaging all across the country. The rules were strict. He was supposed to be watched at all times. He could never be alone with those pieces. But there was one tiny gap. To seal the winning pieces in their tamper-proof envelopes, Jerry had to step away, just for a moment, alone, usually in a bathroom. And that one moment alone, that's all he needed. So here's what Jerry started doing. In that little window where nobody was watching, he'd swap the pieces. He'd pull out the real winners, the $1 million boardwalk, the car pieces, and slip ordinary ones back in. Then he'd walk out with a fortune in his pocket. But Jerry had a problem. He couldn't just go cash in $1 million prize himself. That'd be way too obvious. He needed other people. He needed winners. So Jerry started selling the pieces. He'd find someone willing to play along, hand them a winning piece, and tell them how to claim it. In exchange, they'd pay him a cut. Tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes more. And it worked, so he did it again and again, and the network kept growing. This is where it gets wild. Because Jerry couldn't run this alone, the scheme spread out across the whole country through a chain of recruiters. One of the key people he linked up with had connections to the mob, and from there, it just exploded. Friends, family members, business partners. There were psychics, there were drug traffickers, there was even a whole family of so-called winners. These people would walk into McDonald's headquarters smiling for the camera, holding up their giant check, telling their heartwarming story about what they do with the money, and every single one of them was lying. Over about 12 years, Jerry and his network stole more than $24 million in prizes, cars, cash, the $1 million jackpots. Almost every major prize McDonald's gave out during that time went to someone who cheated, and McDonald's, they had no idea. They were a victim too. So how do you catch something this big, this spread out, this hidden? One phone call. In the year 2000, someone called the FBI with an anonymous tip, just a name and a hint that the McDonald's game was rigged. The FBI opened a case, and they gave it a perfect name, Operation Final Answer. Agents started tapping phones, and slowly they pulled the whole thing apart. The recruiters, the fake winners, and right at the center of it all, Uncle Jerry. In August of 2001, the FBI made their move. They arrested around 50 people across the country. Jerry's 12-year scheme was finally over, but here's the strange part. Almost nobody heard about it, because just weeks after the arrest came, the attacks of September 11th, and one of the biggest fraud stories in history got completely buried. In the end, Jerry was sentenced to prison and ordered to pay back millions. McDonald's, to their credit, were so embarrassed they immediately ran a brand new giveaway, this time a real one, to win back people's trust. But I always come back to the same thought. For 12 years, millions of us were peeling those little pieces, genuinely believing we had a shot. And the whole time, the game was already decided. Makes you wonder how many other things in life work exactly the same way. If you enjoyed this one, there's a whole world of scams just like it, and I'm covering all of them, so stick around.